Northern Virginia's housing market is exploding. It's getting hard to get something. Let's talk about how you can compete. All right, whoa, you guys. This housing market is quite a wild ride, not only nationwide, but in the Metro DC area too. There's a lot going on. We, of course, have DOGE here and their haphazard layoffs. And then on a national level, many different online housing portals like Zillow and Redfin are fighting back against the brokerages that are maintaining a private exclusive portfolio of real estate for sale. Now, I mention this because we will touch on private exclusive listings in this video and what this means for your Northern Virginia home search. But I'm also going to do a deeper dive. I've done it in a different video onto the details of all of these things happening in the background and kind of what those changes mean for the consumer. So I am Melissa Terzis, DC Real Estate Mama. This is my channel. We discuss all things DC real estate here. I've been here a long time, so I like to give you the straight and the dirty and all of the stuff. So, all right, we in the Metro DC area still haven't seen that drastic real estate crash that the doomsdayers are predicting. In fact, I have not had a dip in the volume of people calling saying that they need to move here. It seems that like most people decide quickly on which side of the Potomac River they want to live, and then they get themselves, rolling. So while the housing markets in DC and Montgomery County, Maryland are moving slower than they have in the past, Northern Virginia said, hold my beer. Arlington, Alexandria, most of Fairfax, and Prince William and Loudoun counties are on fire. As the kids would say, Northern Virginia's having a moment. All right, you probably want to know, where are the people moving from? Well, I've got a whole host of people moving for you. There are New Yorkers trying to escape the rat race but not wanting to leave city life behind. There are Americans who've been in Europe but are planning to return. There are military families in Alaska, Hawaii, and on the West Coast being relocated to the area. There are civilians in these areas too, particularly the West Coast from Washington State all the way down through California, who are relocating to the area. So what kind of work are these people doing that are moving here? Well, the jobs people are moving here for are in the military, the tech sector, banking, law, healthcare, and education, to name a few of the main industries. When it comes to couples, in most cases, one of the parties works exclusively remote, so this is allowing them to move without sacrificing one career for the other, which sometimes you see people having to do. Now, current DC area housing data trends. Let's talk about those. We finally have enough data rolling in to make some assumptions and connect that data to reality. These are now the trends that we're seeing right now from the beginning of 2025 right into the middle of spring, which is essentially like 2/3 of the spring real estate market. All right, in DC, the median days on market for single family homes and row homes are what we call fee simple here, which means you own the land underneath you, 28 days. In many parts of the country, a home taking 4 weeks to sell is not a bad metric. Here, though, we haven't seen a house on average take 4 weeks to sell in several decades. Now come with me to Northern Virginia, the place where 70% of the world's internet traffic flows through. Yes, I said 70%. Now, in Arlington, the median days on market, 6 days. In Fairfax County, Virginia, the median days on market, 5 days. Loudoun County, median days on market, 5 days. Prince William County, median days on market, 7 days. Areas that weren't so popular have surged with demand. Places like Woodbridge, Virginia has seen population growth of 887% from 2018 to 2023. I never thought I would see a day where there were multiple offers on homes in Woodbridge, but here we are. Woodbridge was the hardest hit during the housing crisis in 2008 in this area. There were Washington Post articles about how entire cul-de-sacs in Woodbridge were abandoned, houses were boarded up. Since then, Woodbridge has been considered one of the area's more affordable, but then sometimes less desirable places to live. Michael and I did several videos on Woodbridge because his business there was like legit on fire, still is. So how can you buy a home in Northern Virginia? Sounds very competitive. I bet you are wondering, how do you get a home here? Well, this is the land of multiple offers and extreme escalations. I currently have several buyers under contract in Arlington, Vienna, Fairfax, Alexandria. Here's how we got their homes. So 2 different clients obtained their homes off market. I was actively seeking homes in specific areas for these 2 people. two groups of clients. And as word got out, the phone lines lit up. Right now, the off-market private sale avenue is a very active sector of the local housing market. If you haven't engaged the services of a well-connected agent who is willing to hustle, you will not have the entire market of available homes presented to you as options. It's just a fact. This is what's happening now. One client competed in multiple offers. They waived all contingencies. They chose to escalate $70,000 over the list price. Now, they got the house, even though they were second in line. The highest offer escalated over $100,000 beyond the list price, but they included a home inspection contingency in their offer. So even though the seller saw that he could get $40,000 more with that offer, he said, I don't want to deal with a home inspection. I'm taking your client's offer. I mean, sometimes it happens and you don't even know why it happens, and people make decisions. So my opinion is you always have to try. Now, one client put together a strong offer at list price with an assumable VA loan. In most cases, people utilize VA loans so that they can have a zero down payment. My clients, though, actually paid the difference of the assumable loan and the list price in cash, which meant they had a 25% down payment. The seller loved that offer because they had, quote unquote, skin in the game, and they chose my client's offer. Now, you probably are wondering, what is the lure to Northern Virginia? Well, first up, we've got schools. Fairfax and Arlington County Public Schools are top rated year after year. If you're buying your second home and planning to stay in the area for a while, the school zoning really matters. Further out, Loudoun County, same thing. Schools are just really well regarded. Prince William is, I would say, somewhat a little bit more hit or miss, but still, I mean, these areas offer other things that now I'm going to get to: larger homes and more space. In Northern Virginia, you can get a house with a backyard and a walkable neighborhood. Yes, both. It's not a mythical unicorn. Places like Vienna, Falls Church, Reston, and Delray in Alexandria deliver exactly that walkability with a yard and more space. You can also work from home. If you're only commuting a few days a week now, suddenly Reston, Burke, and McLean don't feel like a haul. You get more home, less noise, and you're still 25 minutes to the Kennedy Center if you play your cards right and you still want to go there. There's been a lot of local backlash. Now, jobs are another reason. I mentioned a bit about 70% of the world's internet traffic flowing through Northern Virginia. That is no joke. There are dozens of corporate headquarters in Northern Virginia. The tech corridor of Reston out to Herndon to Dulles employs tons of people in the tech sector. It's not all government contractors here either. There are a ton of different industries in the private sector as well. Next up is transportation. I often talk about this, but the Silver Line addition to the Metro has been a boon for the local economy. The fact that you can take Metro to Dulles or from Ashburn into DC has honestly been a game changer for a lot of people. Next up is the Parks and Recreation. So I'm also a broken record on this item too, but the Parks and Rec in Arlington, Fairfax, Alexandria, amazing. There are so many offerings. It is like belonging to a gym just for super cheap. The trail access is also incredibly impressive. There are so many hiking and biking options. People love it. It's got a lot of outdoor appeal if that's your thing too. Next up is seasonal events and festivals. There are so many activities to keep you and your family busy and entertained. There is an entire region of wineries, skiing within an hour or two. You can go whitewater rafting on the Shenandoah or West Virginia. Within a few hours, we've got beaches, we've got more mountains. There's all kinds of stuff that is so easily accessible from Northern Virginia. And then on that note, you also have top-notch staycations. So rafting, skiing, camping, the geological landscape of Northern Virginia offers a lot of ways to unwind and spend a weekend of fun and relaxation. If you are thinking about moving here because now you just heard how awesome it is and you want somebody to help you figure out if Northern Virginia makes sense for you without a fake sales pitch, let's talk. I will go over the good, the bad, and the overpriced. I am Melissa Terzis. My contact info is coming next. Here you go, wanna hear you go.